Welcome to Beyond Adaptation Fitness. My name is CJ. This is a breakdown of a 15-minute primer workout where we activate and potentiate the whole body in multiple planes. Training in multiple planes may improve the ability to stabilize dynamically and help in reducing injuries while increasing physical performance. You can treat this as a standalone, feel-good workout, and I guarantee it will get the blood moving. But if you'd like to up the challenge, stay tuned for the second part of this workout that will be released on the channel soon. For this primer workout, all you need is one kettlebell and a wall. Let's get started. To begin, I'm starting by kicking my legs up in the wall into a handstand. Then, experimenting with picking up one hand at a time to touch my shoulder. This can take a little coordination, and the fact that I was on a very narrow strip of wall illustrates how important it is to keep your feet together and shift the weight from side to side from the hips. So you can see I struggled a bit here, but this is just the warm-up, so this is the place to figure things out. Be a little awkward and check in with how you're feeling that day. If you are interested in doing handstand walks or handstand push-ups, just getting comfortable being inverted is an important first step. Plus, it helps improve blood circulation, decompresses the spine, and improves proprioception, which is your ability to sense the position and movement of your body in space. Next up, I'm doing 12 knee tuck V-ups, starting from a hollow position. In the hollow position, I am compressing the abs and pressing my lower back to the ground, keeping my shoulder blades and legs off the ground. This is teaching me how to properly hold tension in the body. When we create tension, we are able to create force. This is engaging the deep core muscles as well as the obliques, hip flexors, quads, and erector spinae. Following the knee tuck V-ups, I'm going straight into 20 Russian twists. Instead of treating this as an ab exercise, quote unquote, I like to think of this as a dynamic spinal stretch that helps develop rotational strength. While the most movement may be visible in the shoulders, I'm actually trying to establish my waist as the axis of rotation. The goal here is to engage the stabilizing muscles of the lumbar spine. I recommend exhaling at the deepest part of the twist to get the largest range of motion. I'm trying to keep my feet and knees together without excessive cycling of the legs. Try to keep your chest up to avoid spinal rounding. Now I'm going to start to strengthen and stretch the side body and work on shoulder stability from different angles with windmills. 10 total reps, 5 on each side. In the first round, practice it without any weight. And then in rounds 2 and 3, if you feel comfortable, introduce some weight. If you are familiar with kettlebell techniques, you can either clean and press the weight up overhead or perform a snatch if you feel properly warmed up. I'm guiding one hand down my leg while looking at the hand that's raised in the air, going as low as I can while maintaining a straight back. Allowing the hand stretched overhead to lead me. By concentrating on pushing the raised hand up, I am engaging the muscles in the arm and side body in a coordinated effort. Don't forget to squeeze the glutes at the top to complete the movement. After the windmills, I'm going to grab the kettlebell with both hands and hold it with the bell part facing up and perform 10 kettlebell halos, 5 reps in each direction. This is another form of rotational training, but for the shoulders. Even though the name would suggest that the kettlebell's path is circular, it's more like a diamond shape. You can think of the entire rotation as 2 separate sweeping movements. The first being the transition from the front to the back, and the second being the back to the front. I'm trying to keep the kettlebell as close to the center of the body as possible. And my forearms are basically staying at a 90-degree angle from each other the whole time. In the back position, I'm trying to get a good stretch in the triceps and lats. I'm trying to avoid arching the back in any way. So the upper body is locked in place to provide a solid base to support the shoulders. To finish the sequence, keeping the kettlebell in that bell up position, I'm performing goblet squats with a press out, pressing out the kettlebell at the bottom of the squat. This will help improve squat mechanics and squat depth, engage the glutes, and help train out any rounding up the spine at the bottom of the squat. I find it helpful to exhale forcefully, pushing the belly button to the spine as I press the kettlebell away from my body. Pushing the kettlebell away from you in this position is also going to teach you how to preload your lats and brace the core, which is really important when receiving a weight in a movement like a kettlebell snatch or a push jerk. Start with a lighter weight and go slowly, spending some time at the bottom of the squat. I also find it useful to have the heaviest part of the kettlebell pointed towards me. Now that I'm good and warmed up, I'm going to introduce some higher intensity movements at sub-maximal rep ranges in preparation for the next segment of the workout. Start with some kettlebell circles around the waist, 10 rotations in each direction. Switching the kettlebell from hand to hand in the front and back of the swing. Just like the kettlebell halo, think of this as 2 motions. One from front to back and the other from back to front. Allow your breath to help you establish a steady rhythm and use your exhale to brace the core. The final thing we are going to do is a very short kettlebell complex. 10 Russian swings to dial in the body position and the timing of the hip drive. 5 single arm cleans on each side, catching the kettlebell softly to test our fine motor control. And finish it off with 10 more Russian swings. And that's everything. Now I'm feeling primed and ready to start the next portion of the workout, where the real work begins. Stay tuned for the second video of this workout, which will be released soon. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed the content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel Beyond Adaptation Fitness. I'll see you next time.